New Year, all that stuff. Hey, Brian Adams here, the Contractor's Contractor. Dominate your trade. Kick your competition's ass. Oh, man, first one of these for the year. First live podcast, actually in a long time. Man, I just got way busy near the end of the year. Just a lot of different things going on, a lot of different stuff on my plate. Today, I want to talk about, man, setting you up to dominate your trade in 2023. I'm going to pick on JB Taylor, painting. Got a whole lot we're going to talk about today. I was going to have a couple of in-studio guests, and I don't know, I'm just going to be blabbing my mouth for about 30 minutes trying to get you to, man, realize that you can have the business you can want. You can live the life you want to live. It's all up to you. Stick around. Booyah! Big Eric. Eric, what's up, brother? It has been way too long. Mario, man, it's been way too long. Hey, 2023. I did even right here in the comments. I put Happy New Year. I don't know, man. I'm an April Fool's guy. I still believe the New Year starts April 1st when spring starts. You know, it's like, I don't know who the hell planned this shit to start a new year in the middle dead of winter. It's too fucking cold. It's just spring, man. When you start seeing the flowers bloom and the sun starting to stay up in the sun a lot longer, the day is a lot longer. That's the new year to me. If I was going to do New Year's, I'm just not a big fan of New Year's, period. I did a post on New Year's Day saying, I do not wish you a happy new year. I wish you would read this entire post. Go to my page and find it. It's pretty long. But it's you have not been given a new year. You've been given a new day. Every day you wake up, you've been given a new chance to make the best of who you can be. The greatest gift you've ever been given is time on earth. And I don't know. I've got some religious friends that want you to be humble and money is the root of all evil, and just that whole humble thing, man. Kiss my ass. To me, that's a slap in the face of God. You've been given this time here on earth. It's up to you to make the most of your life. What is it that you can do, man? Push yourself to the limit every day so that at the end of your life, man, you have become all that you could be. And that's going to be different for everybody. Trust me, I know that. But to just get by, just to settle for whatever it is, that kind of shit, no, man, that's just, for me, honestly, it's a slap in the face of God. You've been given this time here on earth. If you don't make the most out of it and become all that you can be, man, then it's just not fair, man. Maybe you may have taken the place of someone else that wanted to get down here and do something. And you're like, no, man, give me the chance. Put me in, coach. And now you're down here screwing it up. No, man, hell no. But you haven't been given a new year. You've been given a new life, a new day every day. For the last, I don't know, 25 years. Even on my cassette tape, remember the recorders? For you youngies, we didn't always have the cell phone. You had to call the office, and in the office we would have a recording that would leave a message. You'd have to leave a message at the office, and it started out with cassette tapes, and your cassette tape would get full. You'd either have to delete some messages or put a new cassette tape in, and then it went to digital. But even way back then, man, my message has always been, make today better than yesterday and tomorrow better than today. I've been saying that forever. So that's what it is. And it's, you got to have the big picture. You got to have the small pictures. All that. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to spend some time on that. If you're here live asking questions, I'm going to get to those. Big Ryan's here, brother. Ryan and his wife are doing some big things down in Florida. Actually just helping them get their Google ads together. And it's not the right time to start Google ads only because of freaking, the holiday season, Christmas and New Year's and parties and all. It's just not the best time for construction, period. But man, they're wasting so much money with another company. It's like, dude, get started now, because it takes a while for Google to run their algorithms and figure it all out. But I got my notes here, man, and for sure, if I forget, don't let me get out of here. I'm gonna JB Taylor down in Alabama. I'm gonna pick on him a little bit. So don't let me. Somebody bring that up if I try to get out of here without picking on that dude. But for everybody's going to set all these goals, and there's three main goals. I can't even think of what the third one is, but is always 1 and 2. 1 and 2. I want to make more money, lose weight, get in health, get in shape. And we talk about it all the time. I've said it over and over again in videos. Is like, if information is all you needed, everybody would be rich, healthy, and happy. Rich, healthy, and happy. If all you needed was information, because the information is on YouTube. This is live right now on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is I put it together just to share everything that I've learned about business in the last 40 years. It's designed for the guys who can't afford to pay me or someone else, but they still need that business knowledge and marketing and hire and selling and it's all there. But information ain't enough. You need the drive, you need the want. There's a lot to it. But this whole setting goals and achieving and stuff, I want to kind of stick it and keep it to business tonight. But you have to have that huge picture of where you want your business to end up. You have to have it to where you want to be. And I've done over, I don't know, 1,000 different presentations over the last 20 years. In every presentation, I pretty much start off with the story of me growing up in the projects, North Carolina. Every Sunday morning, I would be outside on the sidewalk waiting for the church bus to come by, pick you up, take you to church. And back then, I would be dressed in whatever I thought my best clothes was, because back then we used to get dressed up to go to church. Nowadays, you just throw on some flip-flops and a t-shirt, you're good to go. But back then you got dressed up. So I'd be whatever I thought was my best clothes. I'd be out on that sidewalk waiting for the church bus to come by, pick me up, take me to church. And at the end of it, when they dropped you off, they give you a candy bar. And I wasn't going to church because I was into religion. I'm 9 years old, right? I'm going to church. I knew that if I was outside on the sidewalk waiting for that church bus to come by, I wouldn't be at home when the drunks woke up. Plain and simple. For me, it was a way out. My house was the party house. My mom was an abusive alcoholic. They'd be anywhere from 6 to freaking 16 drunks in the house Sunday morning. My dad was never around. So I knew if I was on that church bus, I wouldn't be at home when the drunks woke up. So it was a way out. And when they dropped you off, they give you that candy bar. So I was killing two birds with one stone. It was a good deal. It's a good gig for me. So 9 years old, I'm stepping off this church bus. And as I'm walking away, the church bus guy yells at me. He's like, "Hey, Brian. And I turn around, I'm looking at him, and I'm holding on to my candy bar a little tighter because I ain't giving that back. He's going to have to get off that bus and chase me. But he tells me, he says, "Hey, Brian, man, what are you going to do when you grow up?" I'm looking at him. I'm looking at the apartment that I'm getting ready to walk into. I'm looking back at him. I said, "I'm 9 years old, right?" I said, "I don't have a clue what I'm going to do when I grow up, but I know exactly what I'm not going to do." And he nodded his head, pulled that little thing, shut the door, and he drove away. Because even at that time, it's like God planting a seed in my head, saying, "Hey, man, what's going on in there? That's not you. I've got bigger plans for you. There's different things. You're going through this right now to shape who you're going to be, to do what you're going to end up doing." And we all got stories like that, all of us. So, but I say that to say this is like, I ain't gonna tell you how I'm 58, right? I just turned 58, I think. Shit, I don't know. I'm one of those guys who say, "Look, man, I wonder how old you'd be if you didn't know how old you were." So I don't even keep up with the numbers. My wife does. But I don't even at this age, I'm still not sure what I'm going to do when I grow up, because I didn't get into construction. There's a lot of myth going around about, and you guys keep me on track, man. This whole positive motivation and sit around and just manifest your destiny. That's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Here's how you manifest your destiny. You get up every freaking morning and you take your ass to work. You earn a living. You build something. You work towards your dream. You come home so freaking wore out and tired. You don't have time for Netflix. You don't turn on the TV. You watch these podcasts. You watch other podcasts and YouTube videos. And you read books, or you listen to the audio books when you're in the car, because you don't need to be listening to KFI and AM stations and all the arguing about freaking politics and COVID and all. But you feed your freaking brain. And you work every day towards something. And I don't know what that something is, but this manifest your dreams just by positive thinking and do a dream board, and you're going to put it on the wall so you see all your what do they call it? They call it dream board. They call it something else too, but it's bullshit. You need a nightmare board. And I should do a presentation called the 6 lies of personal development, and that was one of them. Affirmations is another one. But you don't need a freaking dream board, a prosperity board, all that bullshit. You need a nightmare board. If you don't get your ass up, go to work and work on your dreams, here's what it's going to look like. And because we'll do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. It's like you got to scare your ass into taking action. You'll hit the snooze button over and over again because you don't want to get up and go to work. But that fire alarm goes off, your ass is up and out of the house, and you're gathering the shit that you love. Hopefully your kids. But that's what I'm saying. But so we don't, I don't know, man. It's probably an extremely small amount of a small fraction of people who really plan out their life. And I want to be this and that, and think, and God bless the ones who make it in movies and athletes and stuff, because it's an extreme small, it's a lot of work, and a very small population, part of the population really make that. Most of us just end up getting a fucking job, trying to pay the bills, and we end up doing something because a friend of a friend's dad did this, or somebody knew this person and did something. You even go to college, man. You go to college for 4 years, 8 years, whatever the hell it is. You change your major throughout the years, and you get your degree and end up working at Starbucks, or you don't use the degree. Does college make you a better person? I don't know. I just posted something by Gary Vee talking shit about, don't go to college, spend that money and go to Europe, and you'll be more well-rounded. For me, it was I quit school at 16. Telling a young man this weekend, sit down with him, have some coffee. I said, dude, what are you going to do? It was like, I said, unfortunately, it's in a, not, I don't want to say poor, but because that's a mentality. But they don't have a lot of money. Lives with his mom. She works. She tries to pay the bills, that kind of stuff. And he's trying to do some stuff, but it's not bringing in money. He's 22 years old almost. In next month, be 22. I'm like, dude, you have the luxury of living with your mom who's paying the rent. I said, me and my wife was on one side of the country. I was on the other side of the country. We didn't know each other, but we were in the same boat. It's like at the age of, 14, 15, you're on the streets because you have nowhere to live. I had to get a job at McDonald's because, $2.60 an hour or something back then. And you were hoping to do overtime because overtime paid you time and a half. So during that 1 hour, you made a little bit more money. You needed to make money because you had to pay the room that you were renting. You had to pay for that shit and then keep the electricity on. And most people are broke nowadays, living paycheck to paycheck because they don't know how to budget their fucking money. They're spending more money than they make. If you can't afford a cell phone, you don't get a cell phone. If you can't afford Netflix, you don't get Netflix. And all the other shit that the world offers today, those are luxuries that most people can't afford, but they buy them anyway. So at 16, I'm working at McDonald's and anything. Used to work, we always worked in the fields growing up as a kid because you had to make money during the summer to buy your school clothes before you went back to school, whether it was picking tobacco, picking cucumbers, all of it. So, but then when you're completely out of the house and quitting school, it's like, now you're on your own and you got to make money. And then, when the family comes and all this other stuff, and I told him, I said, I was dating a girl. We were engaged, whatever, ended up getting engaged. But before we even got engaged, her dad said, hey, dude, you got to go back to school or learn a trade that you can support yourself and not just get by. Get by. That ain't no way to go through life. We started this podcast off by saying, no, man, it's a slap in God's face to just get by. Get comfortable. Stay comfortable, man. Comfort kills. So I ended up, I was like, dude, I ain't going back to school. I didn't like it the first time. And he was in the trades. He was in construction. And I never had a problem working. Never had a problem getting my ass up and going to work. That was not the case. My grandmother seen to that. I tell people all the time, I was like, man, this whole ADD, ADHD, that's all bullshit. See, I tried to have that when I was a kid, and my grandmother said no. That was the end of that. You don't act like that in my house. So yeah, it's like just no. So I get into construction with this guy, and I'm working my ass off. So other companies would try to steal me, but I stayed loyal to him. I was telling this kid that. I said, even though he didn't pay me what these other guys were paying me, I felt, not because I was dating his daughter, because she'd tell you in a heartbeat, hey man, quit, go make more money. But I felt a little loyalty to him because he brought me into the trades. He brought me into construction. He was teaching me some way to earn a living. And then all the people that I met in construction, just all great guys, right? Yes, they were all guys. Shoot me now. And so started mastering my trade, right? That's the whole book. You've mastered your trade, now master your business. Everybody that I worked with went to happy hour. We'd be off of work at 2:00. They'd go to happy hour. I went straight to the karate studio. It was martial arts that changed my mentality, that changed my self-image. So everything I have, I say I owe to martial arts and what it did for me. But I wasn't, like I just told you right now, back then I couldn't read. But you've seen, I've told the story 1,000 times. I was working for a gentleman, and I said, dude, when you go to work? And he's like, Brian, he chuckled. He goes, man, I'm working right now. He said, if I have to be there, it ain't a job. It's a fucking business. It ain't a business. It's a job. And I don't have a job. And I said, man, I'm confused as hell. Tell me what you're talking about, brother. And back then, my friggin' accent was I lost it. I don't have an accent anymore. But back then, it was so bad. I don't even know if he understood me, but he said, it was like, are you just making conversation or do you really want to know? And I'm like, dude, I want to know. And I think, like I said earlier, at 9 years old and just knowing that what was in that apartment waiting on me was not me. And quitting school at such an early age and being as uneducated as I was, it kind of gave me a leg up on all of my friends who graduated high school and went to college. Stay with me and listen to this, because they did the high school thing, they did the proms, they did all that shit. Went to the universities. Most of them spent anywhere from 2 to 6 years. A couple of them got their masters. Some went for PhDs. And then they were over with. Their education stopped. Mine was just beginning, man. I knew I was so uneducated. I was thirsty for knowledge. When this guy set me in the right direction and said, there's more, and here's some of it. Here's some books you need to read. Here's some people you need to talk to. Here's some seminars you need to go to. Save up your money. Go to these seminars. Save up your money. Hire these coaches. Read these books over and over and over again. I couldn't read, but they had this little thing called the cassette tape. I'm telling you, man, Zig Ziglar called it the Automobile University. I wasn't listening to the radio and the rap music like all my friends was. I'm spending 2 hours, usually like an hour and a half in the morning, driving to LA, 3 hours home, right? You with me? That's why we left work at 1:30 and these guys would be at the bar at 2 because we were leaving early enough to beat traffic. Instead of driving to the bar with these dudes, I'm driving to the karate studio. I'm getting there earlier. I'm still got another hour to listen to my cassette tapes over and over and over again. I'd wear them out until I could buy another one, a new one, and another one. Some of those old cassette tapes that I had, I've still got them on CDs, and now they're downloaded into my Audible. I still listen to them, and I've got now it's just an unlimited amount. Now it's all about podcasts and different guys that I respect. All of that, man. I'm telling you, all of that's to say this. You're setting goals for this year. One, I didn't know at 9 years old what I was going to do with the rest of my life. I didn't get into construction because that's what I chose to do. I needed a way to make money. So, and then you go and you want to make more money. And then I met my wife. She's got a kid. So now we're together. So now I'm not supporting just me. I'm supporting her and a kid. And then another kid comes. So the money that you made at 16 and 20 is not the kind of money you need to make when you've got a wife and two kids, or even one kid, or even just a wife. You need more money, like the old In Living Color: more money, more money, more money. And you need to learn to budget it more and all of that stuff. So we get into it. But you've got to stop and take stock in where you're at and where you want to go. I was telling this kid, I was like, dude, Elon's goal is to get to fucking Mars. I don't think he cares that much about electric cars. I know he doesn't care about freaking solar panels and Twitter. He's using all of these other avenues to feed his dream of getting to Mars. I was never a fan of construction. That hurt me for 30 years of my life. I didn't love construction work, and even though it made me a lot of money, I didn't love it like I should. I didn't love it the way I love it now. And it was because of my mentality. I thought I was I thought I was doing construction because that's all I could do, because I quit school at 16. And I never really knew the blessing that I had. I do now. And I try to share it. That's why I do what I do right now. It's like, I want you younger kids to understand, you younger guys to understand the gift that you have, being able to make the kind of money that we can make in construction. But I always kind of frowned upon it. People would ask me what I did. I really didn't want to tell them what I did, because I'm in construction. It's like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, and people still kind of look down on us, but bullshit. We go to the bank, baby. We go to the bank. Feed your bank account, not your ego. You've heard that 100 million times. Feed your bank account, not your ego. And you can do it with construction. I don't care what the trade is, whether it's, I got some dudes, man, they got like a little Nissan Sentra. They put a tow hitch on it and make their own little trailer, and they're picking up trash. 6 months later, they got a truck. A year later, they've got dumpsters, and just picking up trash, man. You can make a lot of money. All of it. Doesn't matter how you make the money, you can make the money, right? As long as you serve enough people. Zig Ziglar said it best. You can have anything in life that you want as long as you help enough other people get what they want. Elon wants to get to Mars, so he's got to help a lot of people get whatever they want. Solar panels, arguing on Twitter, electric cars, putting satellites into orbit, taking people to outer space and to the what is it, the station, whatever, the world station. But so I'm gonna get any questions right now, man. Terry, come on now. Don't you believe in the secret? Oh, you son of a bitch. I'm trying to get something to drink. Where is it? Put it up there. Don't believe in the secret. Hell no, I believe in the secret. When that book came out, I used to argue with a lot of people about that damn book. Oh my God. Yeah, you sit around and meditate in one hand and shit in the other hand and see which one fills up the fastest. Look, and I got some friends that are in the book, in the movie, The Secret, and all that bullshit. And it's all bullshit. Think and Grow Rich, about to blow your mind. I love the book. Read the book, I don't know, at least 10 times. Listened to the Audible 20, 30 times. Definition of Purpose, all of that stuff. I love the way the book ends because it talks about time is like life is a chessboard, and you're playing time. On the other side of you, you're playing time, and time will wipe the chessboard, with you. It'll knock all your players down. It's like you don't understand how much time you don't have, and we take it for granted. But Napoleon Hill, I mean, he grew up in North Carolina like me. I don't know, a lot of Charles, like, what do they call it? The Charlestons or whatever, Charlottes is like, but the whole book is bullshit. He never met the richest man in the world at the time, Andrew Carnegie. He didn't have all this. He had a crazy life. He would go into different towns, and get a bunch of lumber on credit and then sell it to people in town for half of what it was worth. So they're buying it from him instead of the lumber yard. And then he would take the money and just leave, not pay the lumber yard back. But there's some good shit in the book. But that whole positive thinking, think and grow rich. No, man, work your ass off and get rich. That's what happens. But there's power in thought. My book is As a Man Thinketh. There's a lot of power in thought because we think. I'm not going to get into my program, Mental Martial Arts, but it's online and it's free. Most of the shit I do is for free. My wife is about to shoot me. I'll start charging some of you sons of a bitches. But yeah, so just like the story of Sylvester Stallone and Rocky, and he sold his dog and he had this great script and people kept offering him hundreds of thousands of dollars, but he's like, no, I gotta star in it, or I'm not selling it. I'd rather starve to death. All bullshit, all made up. No, just it's all, but it's a great story, right? It motivates you, gets you to do something. And you say, well, Brian, why are you telling me all this? I'm telling you this because when you do, because I'm not blowing no smoke up your ass. Life is hard, man. Life is hard, and then it gets harder. That's just it. So you have to be harder. You got to be tougher. You got to be tougher than what life is. And when you hear all this bullshit, and then you go out and you do all this stuff, like you hear these motherfuckers say, burn your ships at sea. Don't, go to the land and just, there's no retreat, no surrender. That means your ass is going to be dying on the island. Fuck it. You need leave a couple of boats so you can send back. You can send for reinforcements. I don't care. Look, that's bullshit. You got to set. You got to have the picture of what it is that you want. I'm gonna get into that, but you don't just burn your ships at sea and all that other shit. It's like, no, man, no, just no. Because when you hear all these stories and people are saying go out and do this and boom, and then it doesn't happen. You start off at a 5, you hear these bullshit stories, man, you give it what you think is your all, and then life hits you, and it's going to hit you, and then you go, oh my God, it worked for those people. They manifested their destiny. They watched The Secret, and all they had to do was think about it, and they put the vibes out into the atmosphere, and stuff just came to them, and it didn't work for me. So you go from a 5 to an 8 down to a fucking 1. And then you never want to try again because of the pain. So I'm telling you, it's like, look, dude, fuck no. If you want it, you can have it, but it's going to be a lot of fucking work. I ain't gonna, no, you can. And I'm not one of those guys who can say you can be, do, or have anything, because you can't. You're at a point in your life that some shit just ain't going to work out. So there it is. But look, and don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you the truth. So yeah, no, I'm not that. Oh man, The Art of War, love that. Napoleon Hill was basically a con man. See, Terry knows some shit. Go on, Terry. What else we got here? Need a vision board, affirmations, yo. You need, so let me go. Hey, Terry, you must have came in late. Oh God, let me go back here. So the vision board, I just saw it, man. It was like the vision board, the dream board, all that shit. But you need both, and I do say that is you need your nightmare board, because we're going to take more action to avoid pain than we're going to take to get all the good lollipop bullshit, the big mansion, the yacht, the airplane, the stuff. People say, oh man, but I'm like, dude, if you wanted that shit, you'd already have it. You don't want it bad enough. One of my best-selling CDs, when I used to travel with my man Les Brown and do personal development seminars, and Zig Ziglar, one of my best-selling CDs was How Bad Do You Want It? Now it's on my podcast for free. Go find my dominateyourtrade.com. Should be there. Should be a podcast thing. And down at the bottom is mental martial arts and personal development. And these CDs that I used to sell, they're all there for free, right? But yeah, because you need to scare yourself. So it's like, and then you can have the vision board, you can have the dream board. So you get to look at both of them. You say, look, man, if I work my ass off, I can have this. If I don't work my ass off, I'm going to have this. And the reason I worked my ass off is because I grew up on welfare, and that was never going to happen to my kids. I stayed with my wife because I didn't want my kids to be without a dad. Me and my wife, we've been together February 22nd or something. That'll be like 36 years. I'll just say 34. To me, it feels like 40. But we've been together a long time, and it's been hard, right? It's been tough. And a lot of the times that we stayed together was because I didn't want my kids not to have a dad. She didn't want the kids not to have a mom, and she didn't want to be in jail for killing me. So I don't give no advice on marriage, but you got to find a lady great enough to put up with you for 20 years, and then you got to spend the next 60 years making it up to them. That's my advice. On to your business. So you got to have this picture of where you want your business to be, because if you don't have it and you don't know what it's going to end up being, who the fuck does, right? It's like a jigsaw. I do this presentation with companies and corporations. And I know Charlie's going to be watching this later on, Charlie Engle, and his wife works for New York Insurance, something like that. I'm gonna hook something up with her. I'm gonna do some personal development training this year, and her company may be one of them. But we do this thing. I get two groups together, 4 people over here, 4 people over here. Man, it's over there. I could run get it. Give me 2 seconds. Terry, talk to him. I'm back, baby. I did. Somebody edit that out, right? All right, we're back, man. So the whole thing is you got to have this vision of what you want your business to be. You want your life, really, right? So we do this thing, man. It's like a 24-piece puzzle. It's Finding Nemo. I tell this story of this is the same puzzle I got, man, when I was in Detroit doing a presentation, less speaking and now speaking later on. I ain't gonna tell the whole fucking story, but it's a great story, right? But it's the whole thing, man. It's like this, right? So it's a 24-piece puzzle, and so I got one group over here, and I pour out all the pieces of the puzzle on the table for this one group, and each little piece of puzzle has its own cute little picture. And I say flip it over, get ready, but don't start because that'd be cheating. And God rest his soul, my judo instructor, jiu-jitsu instructor, one of my mentors, says, if you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough. So Judo Jean LaBelle, love you, brother. So then the other group, they get the same puzzle, because if it wasn't the same puzzle, that'd be cheating, right? So they get the same puzzle, but I've painted the cover. So because everyone's like me, when you're doing a jigsaw puzzle, you look at the cover of what it's supposed to be, what it's going to turn out being, and then that's kind of helps you put the puzzle together, right? You grab all these little pieces, you know what it's going to be like. So to make it harder for this other group, I painted the cover. But then I thought to myself, well, shit, that's kind of cheating because they don't get to see what it's going to look like. So I said, well, we can fix that. So I painted all the pieces white. So when they do put it together, it's going to look just like this. And then I say, go, and the people putting this puzzle together with the beautiful little pieces and the picture, it takes them about 2 minutes. Takes these guys about 10. Meaning, the more clear you can paint this picture, the more clear, see, we built everything twice. We built it first here, then we built it out here in the real world. So the more clear you can build this here, and as you're writing down your notes and you're describing it and all that other stuff, the easier it's going to be to put that puzzle together. You with me? You got that? You got to get this shit, man. And then it's like, so you can take whatever it is you want your business for this year, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever it is whatever you want, paint that picture, blah, 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 all of that good stuff, right? And then we're going to break it down into these small jigsaw puzzles, these pieces. Because, and then really you got your life, and inside your life vision, your life puzzle picture, one piece of that puzzle is your business. Another piece of the puzzle is your family. Another piece of that puzzle is your religion. Another piece of that puzzle is how you spend times with your friends and your hobbies, all of that stuff. We're just sticking right now to the business part. So you're going to paint that picture of where you want your business to be. And then when you're talking with me, and a lot of you guys have talked to me, and Terry's been with me now. Shit, man, how long, Terry? 3 years at least. It's been a pleasure watching that guy grow. But I'm going to try to stretch you. I'm going to reel you in a little bit too. But I want you to have franchises. Look at Anthony from Sunshine Design and Build. When I started working with that dude, it was just him, and he was ready to go back and get a job. He was giving it up. And now 3 years later, man, he's starting to open locations in like 5 different states. So you can open up franchises, whatever it is you want. But for every goal that you try to achieve, you're going to give up something. Stab me. Somebody said, Brian, do you got to? I'm in so many groups, man, and I try to share this information with guys and talk shit. And I'm gonna rent I'm gonna move everybody to Texas, because in Texas you can do what is it? Something combat. You can just say trial by combat. It's like, and it's the cops will sit there and watch you fight each other. But yeah, I do have a samurai sword. Always have. What the hell happened? Oh man, I'm touching shit. Trying to back out. Can you guys see me? Let's see. All right. Exit full screen. I don't need no damn full screen. All right, there we go. All right. So ask some questions. Going with it. Here we go. Southwest Dan from Chicago suburbs. What's up, brother? I'm gonna go through some of these. And if you guys got some questions specifically about business, but you've got to describe in your mind first what kind of business you want, where you want it to go, all of that stuff, and then reading the books, talking to me, chatting, all of the podcast, different stuff is. You've got to break that vision down into small little pieces. Some of it is the sales. The marketing, and there'll be no sales until there's marketing. And if you do the marketing right, you don't have to sell. They just show up, ready to hire you, get on your schedule. And that takes time, though. That's what I'm telling you, man. It's possible. Man, my buddy Les does a whole thing of like, it's possible. It makes you say it with me. It's possible. But it takes hard work and time to get there. And that's why I say you're not given a new year, you are given a new day. And every day you got to make that day better than yesterday and tomorrow better than the day right now. So at the end of each day, you're asking yourself, what can I do tomorrow to get me closer to this vision? I always say is like, and I've got it somewhere, and it's probably in one of my programs online, but it's you just take a regular sheet of paper and draw a line right down the middle. And on one side, you write, what did I do today that got me closer to my goals? What did I do today that took me away from my goals? And you're just honest with yourself before you go to bed. And you're not beating yourself up about anything. You're just keeping track, because nothing is more important than keeping track. Every day, keeping track where you're at. It's one of the laws of the universe. I'm telling you, if you took 10 people, because right now everybody wants to lose weight and get rich, skinny and happy, all that shit. But if you took 10 people and all 10 people said they're going to cut out sugar for 6 months, and for 6 months, just do 3 months. I'm a firm believer in the 3 months, because that's a season. So for 3 months, they cut out all sugar, eat meat, a lot of meat. I'm a good meat guy. Cut out all sodas, drink like half a gallon of water a day minimum. They go to the gym 6 days a week, 3 days a week. They're doing anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour of cardio. And then 3 days a week, they're lifting weights for 45 minutes. And each workout, they're tracking in their journal, so that every time they work out, they do the same or a little bit more, hopefully. And if they don't do the same, they write down why. Maybe they're sore from the day before. But if they do that for 3 months, 10 people, guaranteed, 100% money back guarantee, they're going to lose weight and be in better shape. It's a law of the universe. People like all my programs is we give 100% money back guarantee. People say, "Oh my God, Brian, how do you do that?" People gonna take advantage of you. It's like, one, no, they got to go through the freaking interview process first, because I know if they do these steps, they're gonna get the results every time. Every time, it's like gravity. It's like, how many times can I throw up a baseball? How many times do I have to throw it up before it doesn't come back down? It's just that, man. So I'm telling you, when I say business, growing your business is simple. It's simple. When I say it's simple, it's simple. It's hard as fuck, but it's simple. You've got to be harder than it is. You got to, like, because it's 6 steps forward, 4 steps back, 6 steps forward, 4 steps back. And it's the 4 steps back that break people, because people want that instant gratification. They don't want those setbacks. They're learning experiences. They're whatever. It's God. It's life testing you to say, like my CD my number 1 selling CD. How bad do you want it? It's like, how bad do you want it? So life is beating you up every freaking day, a little bit. I mean, more than a little bit. But when you do 6 steps forward, 4 steps back, and you do that every day, every week, at the end of the year, 3 years, 5 years, you look back and you go, shit. And people say, how'd you get here? And you go, ooh, if I told you everything, you wouldn't try. And that's the truth. And that comes into catch-22, because like, it's like, I want to be honest with people. I mean, because like a lot of these motivational guys just want you to buy their program. And so all they give you is the sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops. And me, I'm like, dude, I ain't selling that shit. I mean, you'll get the same results, but look, I'm up front with you. Here's how hard it's going to be. Do you want to even start? And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I don't know, right? But you ain't gonna come back to me. You're gonna come back and go, God damn, Brian, you was right. And or some of you say, well, it wasn't as tough as Brian said it was, but it was tough. It was tough, but not because I'm gonna oversell. I'm gonna let you know, man, because I want to prepare you for the fight. I'm going to overtrain you. So when life does start hitting you, you can hit back, right? I'm going to pick on JB a little bit and slowly put it back together. Right now, I'm looking at my notes, right? So there's so many groups right now in different trades of the construction. And most of them are designed to eventually sell you their marketing program or something. And I look at some of these guys and I'm a big fan of Alex Manzoli, and he says is like, one, you got to go accomplish something first, and then you can give somebody advice. And a lot of these guys haven't even been in business at all. And look, man, there's a big difference between the business world and the business book. The business world and the business book. I mean, there's like 2 different things, like 100% almost. I'm gonna pick on JB before I get out of here. If there's any business questions, Robert, 2023. What is it here? Because these names always the best time to ever. It's always, it is, man. It's like, it's always the best time, because I said, like, right now ain't the best time to start Google AdWords, but it is. Like, you got to always be. Look, man, McDonald's is the #1 food chain in the world, and they probably spend more money on advertising than any other company. There's a reason. What did Ryan say? How do we run our online presence properly? What should we be doing, and how should we be doing it? I want my company to grow. So the whole online presence, and that's what Dominate Your Trade is about. It starts. Oh, look, Daniel knows it. It's called Mutual Combat. I swear to God, man, that's another reason to move to Texas, because all these little fucking keyboard warriors in Facebook groups. I'm like, dude, come to Texas. We got Mutual Combat. Bring it. Back to Ryan's whole internet thing. The whole everything is connected to everything. So even with the online presence, the marketing, all of that stuff. Painting another picture, then breaking it down into little puzzle pieces, and then putting it back together. But especially for us in the trades, most of us only work in like a 20 to maybe a 50-mile radius, but really it's like a 20, 25-mile radius. So when you're doing videos every day, yes, Brian, every day, take Sundays off? No. Really, you should be doing 2, 3, 4 videos a day. And that brings us right into me picking on JB Taylor. Boom! I'm going to finish with that, picking on JB. Because JB, and I've been working with JB maybe longer than any of the other contractors. He was going through some shit at the time, but he still reached out to me. And I didn't hear from him for like a year. And we really didn't start working together until I drove to his damn house in Foley, Alabama. Pretty much, I showed up at one of his job sites on my motorcycle with the wife on the back. But now we're like brothers. So, but he got he's growing, man. He's growing. He sent me the text about loving having all these jobs, and now he's got employees that can do the work for him, and he's kind of overseeing it. And now he's got this new shop, I don't know, 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet, and he's posting a couple of pictures. But what he should have been doing was the anticipation is like, you got to have that online presence through YouTube, through Google My Business, through Facebook, even with the Instagram, is like the small videos and stuff is like you're talking about it. I mean, you can drive by with a video with your cell phone. That's all you need, and you can tell everybody, Taylor painting and refinishing is just we're looking at getting a shop, and you show a whole bunch of different shops and this and that, and you talk about what we're looking for and why we're looking for it, and you can do like one video a day or one a week just talking about shop and still looking for this shop and what you want to do and your plans, and you're building it up, and then when you do rent it, you're like, bam, getting the keys. You guys are going to go in the shop before I even go, and you walk in with the phone, and the people watching it, they get to go into the shop before you even get there. And now it's just this empty nothing, and you're showing it around, and you're talking about that dream. Remember, we built it here first, and you're building it with a cell phone, and you're sharing with everybody watching it on your YouTube channel, your Instagram, your Facebook, your Google My Business, your website. All of those areas, you're building it, and you say, man, and you guys have come along with me. You guys have been watching me over these last 6 months and 3 months, talk about how we're growing, and we're serving more homeowners, and we're doing this, and we're hiring more people, and we're giving back to the community. And you guys have, you've been there with me every step of the way. And man, we're finally here. We've got it. And now here we are in this empty place, and here's what we're going to do with it. And then everything you do with it, you're sharing with your audience online. And to where you build this following, and the more they see you, the more they're going to know you and like you and trust you, so that when they do call you, it's like, oh my God, JB, I've been watching you, man. I remember when you didn't even have a shop, brother. Now you're rebuilding cabinets, man. And if somebody's doing my cabinets, I said, it's JB. I've been watching that dude. Boom, boom, boom. I hope that answers your question, Ryan, because right now, and I've worked with chiropractors, and Ryan's got a chiropractor buddy, and I hope he calls me up, because I'm looking online in his area, and nobody's doing what they should be doing. But it's like, oh my God, when it comes to, because I'm not a fan of hospitals or doctors. Everybody knows that. If you go to my fucking Facebook page, you'll see I have no bones in telling people my opinion. But when it comes to holistic healing and chiropractors and how they want you to look at your health first, I'm big on that. Martial arts, all that stuff, right? But man, there's nobody in this dude's area doing anything that they should be doing. All the content that he could be putting on the internet in his little bubble in his area. Oh, it's crazy. I've even been doing some screenshots of different Facebook ads that are running in my area so that he can talk about it and do. And you don't need to. I mean, I've told you guys, you got my videos. Is Google tells you all the answer, all the questions that people are asking in your area. You can go in there and answer it. And that's what Ryan should be doing. That's what all of you guys should be doing right now, is answering those questions over and over again and putting them there. You show up to work. I don't even care if you go to work. There's no reason. Like, if you don't have any work right now, go out to your garage, go out to your van and start doing videos and explaining what this tool is. I don't care if it's a caulking gun, a putty knife, or scraper, or why it looks like this, all of it. Each little tool could be its own little 2-minute or 10-minute video. and it's uploaded. It's all content. It's all videos so that they see you over and over again, and why you pick certain tape over other tape. But don't tell them to use that fucking tape, because if they use it and shit screws up, it's on you, or they're going to try to make it on you. I'm telling you guys, I tell people all the time. I did a post in one of the groups recently, how to use Google is whatever your trade is, go to Google and ask a couple of questions, the same questions that you get from from homeowners over and over and over again, and then see what those answers are. And if you agree with them, if you don't agree with them, what's right about them, what's wrong about them. And you better know those, because if you go out, or if you're on the phone talking to a homeowner, or you go out to a job site and you're talking with a homeowner and they ask you that question and you answer it the way you want to answer it, and it's different online, the homeowner is going to believe the online version more than you. They're going to think you're either lying or you don't know. And if you don't believe me, ask these doctors. It's like, oh, hey, doctor tells them something. They're like, oh no, man, I was on Google and they said I should be doing this, this, and this. And it's like, oh shit. So you got to learn to answer it as in someone asks you something, you go, man, that's a great question. If you go to Google and search, or Bing, nobody uses Bing, but if you do, you ask that question, you're going to get like 10 different answers. 5 of them are going to be this, boom, 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 boom. The number one answer you get is probably going to be this, boom, 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 boom. And some of that is right. Here's what I agree with, and here's what I don't agree with about that answer, and here's why. So when you answer the question like that, the homeowner is going to be going, oh my God, this dude's smarter than Google. And it's going to be done. It's going to be done. But all of that should be done online every day, every day, every day. How often? Every day. You show up to work every day. It should be a Facebook Live. Why Facebook Live, Brian? Because you got yourself a little selfie stick. You push record on the phone and you just start talking. And it's going to come out natural. And if you come to me and you tell me, oh, Brian, I gave this company $16,000 to make me one of those videos, welcome videos that you talk about, or this other video that you talk about. I'm like, dude, you ain't never fucking heard me say that. Never, ever, ever. The more money you spend on the video, the worse the video is going to be. Boom. Right. My editing people, cut that out. Do like a little clip. I'm going to say it again. The more money you spend on a video, the less good that video is going to be. It's like, no. The more real you can make it, the better that video is going to be. When they see the videos on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram and we use them because we send links to homeowners that reach out to us. They tell us what they've got going on, where they live, and we send 3 or 4 videos that show their type of floor and their type of whatever they want done. We show it being done, yada, yada, yada. But when they see it and it's filmed on this cell phone, it looks as if one of their friends or relatives have sent it. So it's almost personal. And they see you in the video, and Terry is great for this. Terry's got a ton of videos on YouTube, and him and Terry the electrician, and out here on these streets, making that money. So, but they see him all the time. So when Terry shows up to someone's house, they probably making him a drink. They want him to sign some shit because he seems like a celebrity because he's done so many freaking videos. It's like, oh my God, Terry's here. Terry's here. They call him friends. Hey man, I got Terry the electrician over here, man, working on my place. That kind of thing. So that answered that question. It's 3:50. I thought I was going to go for 30 minutes. We've been here 50 minutes. Bob Dell says, bam. Ryan says, love it. What's up, Big Bob? Hey, Bob, I seen I watched your video as long as I could earlier. You had my boy Ruben on there. And he's, I interviewed him a while back, but Ruben Gonzalez, 4-time Olympian with the luge. I met him, probably down in Miami. We were both speaking at an event 20 years ago, if not longer, and just instantly became friends and stayed in touch. And we've hung out whenever we're in town together doing events. And I watched him leave Houston, Texas and move up to Colorado because that was, one of his dreams. And it was just fun watching him put it together. And Bob is one of those guys. If you guys don't know Bob, he's on their chat right now. Bob Donnell with Next Level by Association, Next Level. Go to my YouTube channel and watch the interview where I interviewed Bob. He was part of the sales program that we did. And one of my favorite videos that I have on the internet, if not my favorite video, is one I did probably 4 months ago at Bob's Next Level by Association dinner, and he interviewed me, and he caught me off guard. He didn't catch me off guard by interviewing me, because that was already the plan. He's like, "Hey man, I want you to be my guest speaker tonight." Yada yada. I've been there before, done that. I was like, "Man, anytime." I love it, bro. Because Bob surrounds himself with successful people. But when he interviewed me, it wasn't about business. It was about me. It's just it's a good video. It gets into kind of me growing up, and I like it. Me and Bob's been friends a long time. All right, brother. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. I've got some fish the wife is cooking and some vegetables. We're going to get out of here. Boom! It's the new year. This is the new edition. Dominate your trade. Kick your competition's ass. We got some good stuff planned for this year. Reach out to me. I don't care when you're watching this. You got questions, I will answer them. I'm scaling back the private time that I share with contractors. We've got to scale that way back. I've got a lot of people reaching out to me. The wife is all over me. I'm spending more time with you guys than I am with the family. And that's why our whole our YouTube channel is just designed that you guys can go in there and learn this stuff for free, no charge. We got the programs that we do charge for, but it's a lot of you guys aren't there yet. So we're trying to reach and help as many contractors as we can. Contractor Brian Adams, getting out of here. Wait a minute, JB showed up. You're supposed to be somewhere. Heard you picking on me. I hope you heard it. Go back and watch it again, because all those ideas that I said you should be doing, get busy. I mean, all of it. Yes, sir, Bob. I will give Blanca a big hug, and we're going to be up to Pismo Beach area hopefully soon, now that things are kind of getting back to normal. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Reach out to me. I will answer all questions. Man. Till I get to see you guys again, please keep a smile on your face, me in your heart, me and God in your heart, me on your mind, all of it. Kick that competition's butt. Alec, man, rock on, Brian. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you all. Love you guys.